Good evening, my beautiful Alkin. It's another session prep stream. I did a little bit of off-stream prep. Actually, I did a lot of off-stream prep, but it was mostly just setting up Roll20. So here's what I've got. Here's what I did off-stream, off video. I generated art for all of the goblins in this cave. Sildar, the wolves, all the wolves, Clark, pretty much all the NPCs have their own art and they're all named. I gave them all names. And then tonight's session, I'm going to give them all just really brief backstories, kind of a little bit personality traits, something to go off of. Loot and skill checks. That's my goal for tonight. Just to the session is tomorrow. So I'm running this tomorrow. So this is going to be a wrap it up, which I should be fine. It should be good. What's up, PP? Should be good. I did take some notes. I made sure that to write down everything that all the notes that I took off stream here in the off stream ideas. That way we can talk about this is new stuff that I can talk about. And I'll do that as we go through. I kind of want to line this up. Okay. All right. So where do we begin? I guess I can just go over my off stream ideas. I pulled a description of Neverwinter. I use Describe, by the way, not sponsored, to pull a lot of descriptions. Not sponsored, not going to dwell on that. It's a website that you can pull descriptions for spells, locations, all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, here's my Neverwinter description. Here's what I have for Goblin Ambush. Frack is going to set up smoke powder trap on the road. Let me switch to that real quick. So Frack, I actually have some artwork for Frack and Frick. I renamed Gob because I didn't want to have Gob the Goblin. So I named him Piss. And I'll get into that in a moment. Piss, Dirt, Frack, and Frick. Frack set up a smoke powder trap on the road with a tripwire to detonate right here. Fight starts with an explosion. There's a perception or survival to notice a tripwire on the road and respond to it. So if a character C passes the perception check and notices the tripwire, they have the choice to either jump off the wagon to avoid damage completely, or they can attempt a ranged attack on the wire, which will cut it and prevent the explosion. If they miss, the explosion happens and they're going to take damage. So effectively, if the spotter, we'll call them, passes the perception check, they have the choice to risk taking damage in an attempt to prevent damage from the entire party, or the guaranteed jump off the wagon and just avoid the damage. So basically, they're going to see the wire, know an explosion is coming, and they can choose jump off the wagon. I'm not going to take damage. The party is, sorry. Or ranged attack, prevent all damage, or all or none, basically. Characters can jump out. Yeah, okay. Dirt carries 3 health potions. He drinks one when he's low on HP. I talked about that last stream. I did add this animal handling DC 20 to stop the oxen before they trigger the trap. So if the perception check passes, there's also the option to try to stop the cart with a DC 20 animal handling. So it's either going to be perception or survival to notice the trap, or perception or survival to notice the trap. Perception just to see the tripwire. Survival to notice that the bushes are piled in a weird way. So that's that skill check. And then we have animal handling or an attack roll to stop for things to happen. Here is a description I pulled from Describe. Some of these descriptions that I pulled from Describe, I altered slightly. I didn't write down what alterations I made. I just kind of changed them as I wrote them. So they're not verbatim, but the good writing, you can assume I got from Describe. Yeah, so let's move on to the next area. So that's what I've got here. What I would like to do here, let me write this down. So the only thing that I'm missing for this, I also separated the goblins. Frick, Goblin Special Forces. He's obsessed with knives, loves making things bleed, dual wields whenever possible. Only switches to shooting a bow and targets run away. So this is the kind of description that I'm talking about. Just a little couple sentences describing the character. Frack loves demolition expert, loves making things explode, obsessed with fire, smoke powder, things like that. Just little descriptions. Dirt carries 3, and also what they're carrying. Frack's carrying smoke powder, grenade, and a bomber's kit. Piss, shy, nervous, timid. Dirt calls him Piss because his skin is yellow and he's a waste. He carries a healer's kit. That's going to come in handy later. All right, so that's those 4. That's the only NPCs that I got. This I did do off stream. I just kind of reorganized it. Hey Sam, the majority of Half-Life games are on sale in a bundle for $4. When I was buying it, I saw it was wishlisted by you. Ooh, what a bro. What an absolute homie. Let me check my wish list here. That's a homie. You know what? That's a bro right there. What a bro. Let me see here. Browse my. Sure enough, man. 99 cents. Half-Life 1 and 2. What a bro. I will get those later. That's pretty cool, man. Definitely going to get those. For the record, I have played them many years ago, but I don't have them on Steam. I can't remember how I played them. I think I was using somebody else's Steam, or maybe I had the disc or something. I don't even remember. Okay, so that's it for the Goblin ambush. The goal of the ambush is to get the party, so that's just a note that I have. What I would like to do for this ambush, make a note. Toto to do. This is kind of a programmer thing. Programmers do this whenever they're writing code. Programmers will type to do. I didn't even realize I was doing it until earlier. But programmers will write to do as like a to-do list mid-code. I don't know if anybody else does this. I'm a programmer, so this is just something I do. I don't know if other people do this, but if you see me writing to do, it's just a thing. This is basically just a to-do list. Okay. So what do I want to do here? I need loot. I'm just going to write loot. Loot, skill checks. The NPCs are done. I don't need skill checks. I'm going to write interactables and descriptions. Did I spell this wrong? Interactable. Oh, interactables isn't a word. Well, guess what? It is now. Frick, frack, dirt, and piss. The goal of this ambush is to get the party to Cragmaw hideout. Loot. So I have some loot. I don't know what Frick's carrying. I wrote carries null because I'm not sure what I want him to carry. Frack, he's got his grenade and his bomber's kit. Dirt's got some healing. I want more stuff. I want them carrying more loot. I want more interesting loot. Skill checks. I want the party rolling dice for some reason. Haven't figured out why yet, but at some point we're going to get some die rolling. What I'm thinking for loot is maybe a wrecked carriage. Some of the loot that they pulled from previous carriages that came by and they raided, because these 4 have been attacking carriages for a while. And I think I'm going to have some of those carriages broken down nearby that they kind of pulled off the road, maybe somewhere over here. I should probably make a note of that. Let me see. Let me make a note of that real quick. So off-road are some carriages that the goblins have raided previously. Add loot to these. There we go. So I need to add some loot here. And I'll think of some skill checks later. Right now I'm just kind of getting everything that I want done. So that's what that is. And then scene 2 is going to be done. That'll be it for scene 2. Pussion? What's up, Jalen? Pussion? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Can you be more? Can you give me a little bit more to go on? All right. So as for Cragmaw hideout, I'm ready for, so let me just go over what I've got because I did a lot for Cragmaw hideout. I wrote a lot of this and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about a lot of this stuff. So area 2 is where the goblins are lounging. There's 3. I named them Muzzle, Olak, and Gribbo. These 3 are or 2 of them, Gribbo and Olak, are listening to Muzzle tell a story. Tell a story. I wrote out a story here, also pulled from Describe. The goblins are lounging. I couldn't decide on painting, drawing, or storytelling. I landed on storytelling, and then I copied this story. So when the party arrives here at Area 2, they're going to hear Muzzle telling a story to the other 2. And this is the description. I'm going to add a little bit more like you see 2 goblins, but for now, this is the description that I have of his story. Over at Area 3, when we get to the wolves, let me zoom in a bit. I love these wolves, by the way. There's 3 wolves. I pulled a description for the wolves. The wolf pack was captured in the wild by the goblins a 10-day ago with a pit trap. Poisons. Poisons are interesting. The wolf pack was captured in the wild by goblins a 10-day ago, so they've been here for 10 days, with a pit trap. The goblins are still breaking them in. They are injured and malnourished. One wolf has a broken... I wrote one wolf because I hadn't named them yet. They do have names now, Gregor, Sterling, and Troy. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Zoom in a little bit more. Gregor, Sterling, and Troy. I didn't come up with these names. I just Googled wolf names and picked some of my favorites. I did the same thing for a lot of the other creatures as well. They are injured, malnourished. One wolf has a broken leg from pit trap. I didn't choose who, but one of them has a broken leg. We'll say Sterling. Sterling has a broken leg. Sterling has a broken leg from the pit trap. So the pit trap caught them. Sterling broke his leg in the pit trap. The alpha, the leader, pack leader, whatever you want to call him, the alpha. I'm aware that alphas aren't real. It's a fantasy game. The alpha is protective of the other 2 and puts up a strong facade. Alpha is willing to negotiate with the party. So alpha, I decided was going to be Gregor. So let's write Gregor is protective of the other 2 and puts up a strong facade. Gregor is willing to negotiate with the party. So here's how I imagine these 3. All 3 are injured. All 3 are malnourished. When the party gets here, they're going to see them. Gregor is going to pretend to be strong. Like he's clearly weak. I might do an insight. Maybe an insight roll. Insight, question mark. So an insight roll to see, make it like a DC 10. Something easy. A DC 10 insight, you notice that Gregor is also weak. They're all 3 weak, but Gregor is pretending to be strong because he's concerned. Like he's trying to put on a brave face, not just for his pack, but also to be intimidating to the party. He's trying to intimidate the party. Like I'm not weak. He's kind of putting on this face like I am not weak. But it's clear just from how malnourished and injured he is and the other 3 are that he is weak. At least that's what they're going to get. I'm thinking with an insight. Should that be insight or animal handling? Let's go with insight or animal handling. Insight or animal handling, DC 10. How about if it's an insight, it could be DC 10. Animal handling is DC 5. Notice that Gregor is also weakened and is putting on a brave face to intimidate the party and put on a brave face for his pack and to intimidate the party. There we go. They're not, but fun fact, wolves have actually been tamed by crows. That's cool. Crows would be a fun thing to add. Birds are always fun. Like animals in general, I love them. I try not to go overboard when I'm adding animals, but I'm going to be honest, whenever I add an animal to an adventure, I get excited. Like This snake here, when I get to that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna love this snake. The wolves, there's some wolves back here. There's a wolf here. There's 2 wolves here. I'm just gonna have a blast with them. All right, stay on track here. So Gregor, Sterling, and Troy is who we have here. They are in area 3. All right, so real quick, area 2, we have our 3 goblins. I've named them. I need to add a to-do. I'm not going to make a note out of it. Maybe I should. Should I do it here? Loot, skill checks, descriptions. I kind of want to separate them though. Descriptions. What was the other thing? Interactables. Yeah, I need that too. Interactables, descriptions, loot, skill checks. And I need those for all 3. So I'm going to delete all these to-dos. Don't need them anymore because I basically got it covered. The flood, we'll come back to that again. We'll come back to that. All right. So let's move everything over. Area 2, goblins are lounging. Here's my description. Kind of want to color code these descriptions as well. Just hitting caps lock. There we go. Perfect. So do wolves not have leaders, or do people use another name than alpha? I honestly don't know. I'm not a wolf expert. I put this in the wrong place. Whoopsie. That needs to go here. I'm pretty sure there's a pack leader. I don't know. Honestly, let me be real with you. I don't know what the difference between a pack leader and an alpha is. Real talk, don't know the difference. I'm sure there is one, but like apparently the person who like came up with, or the person who observed that wolves have alphas was wrong, and wolves don't actually have alphas. So I don't know. Who knows? All right. This all needs to be like this. Just trying to align it with the, that way it, yeah, because I like this look. Just formatting. So I have the description. The den's warm, rank airs, cocktail wet fur. The wolf pack was captured in the wild. Got it. Insight or animal handling to notice that Gregor is weakened. Looks good. Clear that out. Area 4, we have a giant poison. My party earned the trust of the wolves by feeding them and then used them to take out the goblin boss. The player who took them in was pretty broke up when 2 died in battle, but the alpha survived. Just checked. Wolf packs just act like normal family. Got to catch up on my wolf lore now. Facts. Yeah. By the adventure module, I believe if you feed the wolves, you get advantage on the check, which is pretty cool. But there's nothing really. I mean, if the players do it, I'll reward them, but there's nothing really to signal that that's something that you can do. Like that's an option. Maybe I could hint at it. Like you see, like, I mean, you do say they're malnourished. Yeah. If the party thinks about it, you give them advantage. If the wolves are given food, oh no, it lowers the DC. Sorry. You don't get advantage. It lowers the DC. It's DC 15 to try and calm them. I'm not sure. What did I put? Okay, so I have an insight and an animal handling to notice that they're weakened. I can also add. I have a lot to write here. Let's do animal handling. DC 15 calms the wolves. If they have speak with animals, we'll do persuasion, intimidate. We'll come back to that. What's up, Brady? All right, now for my giant poisonous snake. Oh boy, the fun. So this snake is curious about the party, has recently eaten a goblin, so it's not interested in attacking the party yet. But the snake will describe Area 6. So when the party gets to Area 4, they're going to meet the snake. And if they talk to it, if they're friendly, and if they ask, the snake will describe Area 6 to the party. We'll tell them what's going on here. The description of this snake I found on Describe, I absolutely love it. This was so good. Like the Describe descriptions are just phenomenal, but this one like really stood out to me. Easily 6 feet long. I gotta practice. I gotta practice reading these so they flow a little easier in the campaign. Easily 6 feet long and coiled on a ledge above you, sleepy and silent, the snake feels a change in heat. She licks the air for a scent as the wedge of her head rises, aiming her mesmerizing eyes at you. Her neck smoothly curves back, tongue flicking, body braced. It feels so good. I also generated a handout. I named her Queen, and I created a handout for it. AI art. Some snakes have tiny leg bones near their tails. Interesting. So this is the Queen. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh, also the wolves. I created one for the wolves as well. Little puppies. They're just sleeping. So adorable. So that's them. This is what I mean. Animals are just the best. All right. So that's what I have for Area 4. Let me copy and paste this over to my actual document. My poisonous snake. Here we go. Area 5. We've got the flood. I'll describe that in a moment. Well, I'll figure something out with that flood later. Area 5. Bring that over. Why aren't you moving? There we go. Line it up. Throw some question marks down here. Yep. So with that, I don't think I have anything for... Oh, 6. Wait. Yeah, this is 6. I don't have anything for 7. I have a little bit for 8. We'll get to that. Let's call her Emerald. Oh, wait, is that her name? Is she literally a queen? Queen the Snake. What a fabulous name. So for this one, I just Googled snake names and I was just looking through and I saw Queen and I was like, yes, Queen. It's perfect. So yes, her name is Queen. I haven't decided how I'm going to introduce, like how she introduces herself. Well, I'll go over NPC descriptions in a moment. Right now, I just want to get everything that I've got off stream, on stream. So Area 6 is going to be very eventful. Area 6 is going to be tricky. So this is Area 6. So what is going on in Area 6? The Goblin Den. So what I decided on, I'm just going to say this out loud so it's out there because I know that I'm going to write it down in a moment. Yemek and Urk are goblin bosses. The book describes them as goblin bosses. These are the rest of the goblins, except Sildar. Sildar is here. There's 5 other goblins. So here's what I've got. Yemek. Actually, I think I wrote this down. This area contains a piece of the shattered obelisk. I added that myself. I'm going to get like a token, put it right there. That's going to be the shattered obelisk. Urk believes that his new warlock powers came from the stone, the shattered obelisk, and has now begun worshiping it. He has also managed to convince other goblins to join him, and they have also gained warlock powers. I haven't decided how many. I know that I want Trinza to be a warlock. Maybe Krala, maybe one of these. I haven't decided how many warlock goblins I want, but at least one other one. Yemik, who's this one here, believes that by befriending Urk, he can use Urk and his cults to overthrow Clark and position himself as the cave's new leader. And then I wrote, so eventually Urk is going to cast Green Flame Blade, and I pulled a description for that. So that's what's going on over here. Yemik is not worshiping the stone. Urk is. Urk is gaining power. Let me hold on. Let me write something here. In reality, Urk is gaining power from Ilvash, who is the big bad evil. So the big bad evil is channeling power to Urk and the other goblins, but they believe that the stone is what's giving them power. That's what I've got for Area 6. Area 7, we've got 2 goblins and 2 wolves. What I decided on for these two, I just happened to have 2 female goblins on hand and 2 wolves. And I thought, it would be cool. Valkyries. So these goblins refer to themselves as goblin Valkyries. They don't have wings. They don't have armor. They're just 2 warrior women that are like, hey, we're Valkyries. We're going to call ourselves Valkyrie. I haven't decided where they got the name Valkyries. Like maybe they read a book or they heard somebody say it, but they refer to themselves as Valkyries. Also, Zerga is a Valkyrie. I think I skipped over Area 5, didn't I? So Area 5 has this bridge. Area 5 has this bridge where Zerga is keeping watch. And what I had is I pulled a description of the bridge. And then I think I wrote this. A single goblin lines up her shot and fires an arrow across the bridge at a practice target. The twang of the bowstring echoes through the cave. So she's up here. She's supposed to be keeping watch, but she's practicing her bow skill. So she's got a little practice dummy set up right here, and she's just shooting it. So that's what the party's going to see when they come up. Also, I need to set up some torches. I'll do that eventually. How about a legion of water snakes? All right, Area 7, we've got 2 goblins, and they're going to... So I had originally... Maybe they're going to mount the wolves? Nah. Man, I wanted them to be mounted, but... Because this is a level 1 adventure, it would be really... 2 mounted goblins would be really difficult. You know what I'm just gonna make a note real quick right here. This is Area 7. We've got 3 goblins. So by the book it's 3 goblins. I changed it to 2. This is kind of overwhelming. I know one less goblin isn't gonna make a huge difference, but this is a level 1 adventure, and there's just a lot. There's a bugbear and a wolf, 3 goblins, 2 wolves. I changed it to 2. And then we've got this pack of enemies over here. Like this is going to be, and we got 3 goblins at the entrance. This is going to be very difficult for a first level party. They may need to long rest at some point through this dungeon. So I'm going to try and ease the pain a bit, make it a little more manageable. As cool as it would be to have mounted goblins, it would just be really difficult. Like there's just so much. So I'm just going to put mounted wargs. So wargs, no, wargs are too strong. We're just going to do mounted ? Because wolves are medium, goblins are small. So it should be like we could have. I love this dungeon. The dam is such a cool idea. We're going to have our goblin Valkyries. I'm just going to write goblin put it in parentheses so I know that it's an actual stat block. Turn the goblins on that bug boy. Best strat. I am going to give Sildar some armor. Let's write that. By the book, he's armorless. Sildar has his plate armor. His sword is with Clark. By the book, his armor and sword are at Cragmaw Castle. I want him to be combat effective here and now. So he's going to be at full. I might even put him at full health. Full HP? Question mark. Has his plate armor. His sword is with Clark. So what I would like to happen is if the party goes here first, the goblins recruit them to take out Clark. They get Sildar. One way or another, they get Sildar. Sildar has his armor and his sword. I'm going to have a stat block. 1 second. Let me write that down. To do stat block for Sildar. So I want Sildar to be have some fighter levels. I want him to be combat effective. He might have like two or three levels of fighter. I want him to be effective. What I want to happen is I want the party to bring Sildar over here to help with the fights. If that happens, these fights will be much more manageable because I'll have Sildar kind of tank. Like he'll taunt goblins. He'll be in the front line. He can soak some hits. That's what I would like to happen. But if the party decides to go right first, I got to come up with something. We got to figure something out for that. Because this is just like a bugbear and a wolf against the level 1 party is just going to crush them. Maybe they can recruit these wolves. That would be interesting. But I don't know if I'm feeling that. We'll see. I gave Sildar the veteran stat block. That's really good. That would be really good. I believe the veteran would be maybe much. I believe that's like a CR5. What did I spell it wrong? Veteran. He's a CR3. That could work. That's not a bad idea. He's wearing splint. He's got a long. Yeah, I can make that work. I got multi-attack. I think I'll do that. 58 hit. See, 58 hit points is a lot. It's a lot of hit points. Maybe. Full HP veteran. You know what? Maybe I could make him a veteran, but maybe at half health. I think that could work. Half health, potentially. Event where a pair of friendly snakes decide to help them. Huh? What are you talking about? So that's what I have. And last but not least, Area 8, the boss fight. You know what? I could kind of... If I block this area off so they can't get to Clark from here, that might push them to the left. Like, it's still possible that they ignore this path and go this way instead and end up at Clark. But I don't like this chimney anyway. So I think like just sealing it off would be, yeah, maybe. All right. So we have 1 Clark, 1 wolf, and 2 goblins. These goblins are going to be non-combatants. I decided that, well, one of them is at least. Rendell, I named him Rendell. One of these goblins is named Rendell, and he's an accountant. And he's a non-combatant. He doesn't do combat. So as soon as the fight breaks out, he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to go hang out over here. You guys, he made like cheer Clark on, but non-combatant. Shecht, I kind of want to make him a mage of some kind. Maybe like a sorcerer, a booyog, goblin booyog could be good. You know what? What do we have? What do we have? I haven't even looked at the multiverse to see other goblins. Do we have other kinds of goblins in here? I believe we do. I think this book is where The Nilbog is. I really considered putting a Nilbog in this. We got nothing. I considered putting a Nilbog in here, but I feel like that's just too much. Like there's already a lot going on. Adding some face spirit that's doing crazy stuff is Goblin boss, Psy Commander, boss variant, gang member. No Booyog, no mage. So I'll create one. I'll create a goblin mage. I'll probably just use the goblin stat block and give them like Firebolt or something. Maybe Burning Hands. That may be a bit much. But we'll come back to that. 2 goblins. And that's it for the off-stream stuff. I believe. That's it. So we'll come back to that. Okay. Now let's talk about loot and skill checks and interactables. I already have descriptions for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have a little bit of a description for 6. I need a description for 7 and 8. The way I run is the chimney chute's too small, and a size small can only poke a head through. Perhaps by feeding them that archer goblin for making a racket with her arrows. Okay. All solid ideas. Okay, let me think here. So that's what I have. Feels good. Sildar's pretty cool. All right. So let's go back. I'm going to go back to this. All right. So what I need here is loot. I need some loot. I already wrote down. Frick is going to, I don't know what Frick's carrying. Frack, dirt, and piss. I'm also going to add. Why isn't this working? Loot. Let's just call it a wrecked carriage. Gold because it's going to be loot. Guarding a chest of potion materials, a goblin hag. I do want a lockbox. So here's the way I can knock out loot and skill check. A lockbox. Sleight of hand, DC 20? 15? 10. 10, 15. Let's do 15. 15. Let's make it a hard one. We'll put some good stuff in there. Make it a DC 15. What else? Let's do crates of food. Supplies. Yeah, let me be more specific. Food. Crates of food. I want gold. But I don't know if I want gemstones, artwork. Guarding a chest of potion. Cool, better credit me. It's not a chest of potion materials. I'm crediting you because I wrote lockbox, sleight of hand, DC 15. Crates of food. What else? Be gone, piss. Kind of want to do gemstones. I put both gemstones and artwork. Wine and beer. Oh, Goblin Hag. Gobbies love their gems. Wine and beer is good because that kind of fits with the food. Food, wine, food, and alcohol. Always mess up spelling alcohol. Food and alcohol. So the alcohol could have a gold value. The food could have a. So the thing that I'm going to do different in this campaign is I'm going to have, kind of like in Baldur's Gate, you have to spend supplies in order to long rest. I want to introduce that mechanic in my games. I want the party to have to spend spend gold in supplies in order to long rest. So I think I'm going to incorporate that. Gemstones and artwork, question mark. No, I'm just going to do food and alcohol. We'll do all the gold will be in the alcohol, we'll do supplies and the food. Do I put magic items? I do want a magic item in there. Or maybe I could give one of the goblins a magic item. Oh, how about potions? How about a potion of speed? Spell scrolls. How did I forget that right? Potion of speed. Scrolls. I'm just going to write spell scrolls. Actually, you know what? I'm going to write. Make this easier on myself. Potions and scrolls. There we go. That's good loot. A wrecked carriage with a lockbox, crates of food and alcohol, potions and scrolls. And I think I'm going to put a magic item. Contains a magic item? Question mark. I think I can put a magic item in that carriage. What kind of magic item? What would be fun? What would be a fun magic item? I need to get inspired. I almost want to load up. Ooh, a bow. You know what? A bow would be cool. A strength bow. That's not really going to be in a lockbox, though, is it? Cap of wizardry. Wand of catapult. A wand would be cool. What do I put in my lockbox? Maybe I could look through my players' magic item wish list and put something in there from the wish list. I told all of my players to write a magic item wish list. Man, I drift. Like, there's so many good magic items that are just good. I actually have a, you know what? What am I doing? I have a list of cool magic items that I reference all the time. Let me check my list. Loot. Magic items. Let's see. Movements. Oh, these are all the magic items. Favorite. Here we go. Favorite magic items. A clockwork amulet is great. Cloak of billowing. I love all of these. These are my favorite. These are some of my favorite magic items to give out. Nature's mantle. Periaptive wound closure. Can't go wrong. Like, can't go wrong with a lot of these. Amulet of the drunkard. Drift globe. Boots of speed. I actually don't remember what boots of speed do. What do those do? What are boots of speed even? Cannot for the life of me remember what these do. If you do the boots, double your walking speed, and any creature that makes an opportunity has a... Ooh. That's pretty cool. I love that. See, something like that would be good. +1 weapon, boring. +1 weapon's boring. I want something interesting, something that like alters the play style, or just has a cool effect, like a spell 3 times per day or something. Ring a jump. Ooh, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I think I can give the party access to Speak with Dead here. Am I ready for that? It may be too soon. Too soon for speak. I want to give the party Speak with Dead as soon as possible, but not like so. Like maybe not first session though. What is Medallion of Thoughts? Is that what lets you read minds? That could be fun. While wearing it, you can use an action, spend 1 charge, to cast Detect Thoughts. That could be fun. What was Nature's Manual? I think that's like the Druid one. Like lets you, or maybe the Ranger one. What is this? While wearing, you can use a spellcasting focus for Druid and Ranger. I was, I was right. I was there. While you're in the area lightly obscured, you can hide as a bonus, even if you're being directly observed. I really like this. Nature's Manual is great, but I don't have a Ranger or Druid in the party. I don't think. Friday has a Druid. That could be cool. What is the Ring of Obscuring? Has 3 charges. As an action, you can expend 1, cast Fog Cloud. That's cool. I think Amulet of the Drunkard is the one that like lets you heal, like gives you a potion. Basically gives you a healing potion. Amulet of the Drunkard. You can regain hit points. You drink a pint. Wait, when you drink a pint of beer. This actually fits with the, okay, I think I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with the Amulet of the Drunkard because this is a supply cart, you know? Contains Amulet of the Drunkard. This is in the lot. So give him the Speak with Dead amulet from Baldur's Gate 3. I plan on doing that. But later. I feel like it's too early. It's too early for that because I'm giving them Speak with Animals this first session. I don't want to give them Speak with Animals and Speak with Dead first session. It feels like too much. Contains Amulet of the Drunkard. Creates a food and alcohol, potions and scrolls. I really need to refine this. All right, what's Frick carrying? I had an idea for a dagger. Do we have any homebrew weapons that bleed? Does anybody have any good homebrew weapons that like cause a bleed effect? Because Frick, my description for Frick is that he's obsessed with knives, loves making things bleed, and dual wields whenever possible. Only switches to shooting a bow when targets run away. I want him to have a weapon that causes a bleed effect. Like a dagger. If mid-battle Clark chugs a beer and heals, that would be pretty memorable. Yeah, but the amulet's in the Goblin ambush. It's not with Clark. We'll get to Clark's loot table and what he's using later. Right now, I need a dagger that causes a bleed. Let me check. me see if I have a. Let me see if this book has a weapon that causes a bleed. Let me see here. Balance composite. Venomous. Let's see. Page 20. Let's see what we got here. Tripper, unbreakable, vaulting, vengeful. Choose one of the following creature types. This choice is permanent. When you hit a creature of the type, you deal an additional d4. Venomous. A tube runs along the interior of this weapon, funneling poison in a cut wound. When you successfully hit a creature with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to press a button on the side of the weapon's hilt to let poison flow into the wound. 11 plus proficiency, 2d6 poison damage. That's pretty cool. Bloodied? Ooh, whenever you bring a creature to 0, you regain 2d6? That's so cool. I love it. It's kind of what I'm looking for. I like the vengeful weapon. That's pretty cool too. Now I'm getting into the masterwork. I want to keep it basic. Balanced. The edge of this blade has been hardened. Whenever you make a strength saving throw against being moved, you can use a reaction to dig your blade into the ground, giving yourself advantage. I like it. Composite bow. Illuminating. Tripper. Spearglaver halberd. I'm kind of feeling venomous. A venomous dagger. Salted wounds, a dagger that's basically a weapon of wounding, but the damage d4 is once per turn and the healing's a DC 10. But the damage is a d4 once per turn. Yeah, I'm thinking about using a wounding weapon from like Baldur's Gate. You guys know, because Baldur's Gate has a weapon effect where you can like cause bleeds. I guess I could put that. I believe it's called Gaping Wounds. You know what? I'm just gonna write Bleeding Dagger. Carries a dagger that causes bleed. We'll fill that in later. Hi, what's up, Byron? How you doing? So Frick carries a magic dagger. Frack carries a grenade with a bomber's kit. That's going to be interesting. Dirt's got healing potions. Piss has a healer's kit. Do I want to give any of them a unique bow or anything else? Like a bleed dagger, the grenades. Like this feels like enough. Amulet of the Drunkard if they get that box open. This feels like a good bit. And then some potions and scrolls, obviously. Yeah, I think this is good. All right, loot is good. Now we need skill checks. And I think description. I think we're good. I want to write some more descriptions. I need better descriptions. Actually, I need a description period. I didn't write anything. I have a description of Neverwinter. Oh, no, I do. Okay, I did write this. Yeah, I need to move this over. I need to move all this over here. Whoops. Oh, okay. Character can jump off the wagon. Everything seems to move in slow motion as an explosion erupts from either side of the vehicle. A tidal wave of heat and force flings away anything and anybody unfortunate enough to be nearby. When the haze of fire and smoke dwindles, all that remains of the carriage is a charred, blackened shell. I love this description. Also pulled from Describe. Okay, so the party's in Neverwinter. I guess I need to write about Stephanie as well. I'm going to change these to NPC descriptions, which just changes the color because it's not a combat. Could be. Actually, this will be, but I like having my NPCs this color. Frank set up a smoke powder trap on the road. So I need, you know what I need? I need a description. We're going to use Describe. Maybe Overland? Travel on foot through Overland Nurse, Curse. Let's see. Snow and ice crunch underfoot as you trudge overland, fighting against a fierce, frigid wind that winds across the tundra. See, I love this, but we're not in the Arctic. How about scene request? No, that wouldn't. No, that's for everything. Travel. There's a travel thing. Let's do that. Rural road in winter. 3 days of travel on foot by road in steady snowfall. Could make it snowing. Just to make that description work, am I right? You know what? The map doesn't have snow, so I'm not going to do snow. There was an easy way to make that a snowy map, I would. Driving a car during the rain. Townside, Massive Large Bridge. A 10-day travel by foot on road through a change to fall. And we have one for spring as well. The summer warmth is leaching away as you trudge down the dusty road to begin your journey, and a crisp autumn breeze chills the air. See, I can modify this just a bit so it's not a season transition. The road before you is baked dry, but by day 2 fallen leaves dance upon its pitted length, and the swaying trees that shadow your path have hints of red and gold painting their curling tips. On the 3rd day, you pass an old battlefield, the muddy field littered with rusted remains of weapons and armor, and on day 4, the nearby fields are increasingly dotted with burial mounds, silent reminders of times gone by. Over the next couple of days, trees start to shed, their leaves tickled free by brisk autumn winds. On the 10th day, you reach your destination. I like it. I'm going to make some adjustments to it, but for the most part, this works. I don't know if I want the old battlefields. Also, it's going to be like a 3-day journey, so I can cut some of this. Let me see. How do they format this? The road before you is baked dry. So what I'll do is I'll change it on the 2nd day. Might skip that too. The road before you is baked dry. Fallen leaves dance upon a pit length. Swing tree, shadow your path, hints of red and gold painting the curling tips. So I'm just going to skip. I'll just cut like all that. So it's just curling their tips. Over the next couple of days, trees start to shed their leaves, tickled free by brisk autumn winds and then I think that works. I think I'll use that description. Change to fall. And what was this one? Change to... Okay, yeah, that was change to fall. So I might do change to spring or summer. I kind of want winter to be over. The cold winter frost still lingers, but the first hints of spring are in the air. The road stretches before you, glistening ice coating its cobbled surface. Day 2 sees your path meandering through a dense forest. Third day, you chance upon a small village where locals toil, eagerly preparing for the spring festival. Skip that. Next day, you continue the trees thinning as your path cuts through rolling hills. Okay. Yeah, I might use this one. Change to summer. The landscape is dappled with flowers, the hedgerows seething with birds on your first carefree day of travel. Spring rain's a thing of the past. All right. Are we transitioning to spring or summer? I definitely want winter to be over. I think I'm going to do spring. But I might pull some of this because I do like some of these. But we at least have something to work with. I'll go ahead and create that now, I guess. Through summer and spring, here we go. All right, so this is going to be after they leave. Transition to Goblin Ambush. Here we go. So after they leave Neverwinter, this is what I'm going to read. As you prepare for your journey, the cold winter frost still lingers, but the first hints of spring are in the air. Or let's do this one. As you prepare for the journey, the cold winter frost still lingers, but the first hints of spring are in the air. The road stretches before you, glistening ice coating its cobbled surface. Man, I really like these descriptions. Farmers wave as you go by, offering you cold milk for a paltry sum. Cut that. Often you are forced to rest, exhausted. Thankfully, wait. Day 4, the torridity of the season intensifies. Warmth is replaced by blistering heat. Each day brings encounters with friendly folk who welcome you. No. I kind of like the overturned cart, though. How about on day 2, you encounter an overturned cart with no sign of the owner. Noting the location, you press on. I'm not going to put reaching your destination. As you prepare for the journey, the cold winter frost still lingers, but the first hints of spring are in the air. The road stretches before you, glistening ice coating its cobbled surface. On day 2, you encounter an overturned cart with no sign of the owner. Noting its location, you press on. And I want to double check, but I believe it's 3 days travel before the ambush. Venture assumes, maybe read the following. You begin your adventure career, city, a couple of days travel south. You spent the last few days. Yeah, it's not vague. It's kind of vague. If you couldn't tell, I am changing the description from the book. Farmer's Wave. Road stretches before you, glistening. By early afternoon on the 10th day, your destination sits. Next day, you continue, the trees thinning as your path cuts through rolling hills with grass full of budding plants. I like that. Next day, you continue. The problem is we got like budding plants and frost. But I guess this is Neverwinter, so. How about glistening morning dew coating its cobbled surface? Next day, you continue. The trees thinning as your path cuts through rolling hills with grass full of budding plants. All right, that looks good. Then we can transition to the actual ambush. I like that. Budding plants. So I think it's here. So I'll read this. Next day, you continue, the trees thinning as your path cuts through rolling hills with grass full of budding plants. I'm going to change this to on the second day. The next day, you continue. On the next day, you continue, the trees thinning as your path cuts through rolling hills with grass full of budding plants. Do I go straight to roll of perception? / survival. On the next day, you continue, the trees thinning as your path cuts through the rolling hills with grass full of budding plants. Roll a perception or survival. Actually, you know what? No, we need a little bit more. Let's go. The woods press close to the trail here with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. How do I make that fit in? Because this doesn't fit. On the next day, the trees thinning as your path cuts through rolling hills of grass. So how about on... The woods press close to the trail here with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. I need that. I hate how when I copy and paste, it has that annoying background. So I have to type it out by hand. I like this. The woods press close. I like this transition. The woods press close to the trail here with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. All right, I need to go from this to the woods press close. As you come around a bend, and just do that. As you come around a bend, the woods press close to the trail with a steep. Yeah, okay, this works. As you come around a bend, the woods press close to the trail with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. Roll a perception or survival, and then the results will determine. So success, I'll describe the tripwire. Fail, I'll go straight to this, and then we can start combat. I like that idea. Yeah, so we're good. I need a little bit more information on Stephanie and Gundren. I need a Gundren handout. To do Gundren portrait and a token. Stephanie BC info. Oh, I've got that right here. Whatever. All right. Be right back. Bathroom. Oh, my day is starting to catch up with me. Oh, I might have to do more of this in the morning or tomorrow afternoon. Okay. Need info on Stephanie. Need info on Gundren. Did I copy over that Neverwinter? Yeah, it's fine. So that's what we'll start with. Then I'll do character introductions. It's my transition to the ambush. Did I move this area 8 info over? No, I didn't. All right, let me copy and paste that. So, Ripper is a wicked killer who enjoys the torment of others. Ripper is the wolf. Long past redemption. Any damage done by Ripper will leave a scar lasting the campaign. That is just a flavor thing. That's not going to have a mechanical effect. It's just a scar. Won't have a mechanical effect. Okay. Let's go ahead and do Stephanie. All right. Stephanie. Let me pull up her picture. So I have 2 pictures of Stephanie. I couldn't decide on which one. Couldn't decide on which one I wanted to use. So I ended up saving both. So here's Stephanie 1, and here's Stephanie 2. Couldn't decide which one. I mean, they both kind of look the same. Like, I think I could use both, and party wouldn't even notice. But I ended up making the token out of this one. Let me see. I have so many tabs open right now. Clean this up a bit. Okay, we're good. So yeah, so here's Stephanie. I ended up using that one. Stephanie is... All right, let me make a note of this. Stephanie is a farmhand and animal lover. She drives the cart. Shouldn't capitalize those. Farmhand and animal lover. A long time friend of Gundren, Rock Seeker. She drives the carriage. With her 2 oxen names. Barley, Benny, Bessie. All right, let's do Tyson. I like Barley. Barley and Tyson? Yeah. 2 oxen, Barley and Tyson. Stephanie, farmhand, animal lover, longtime friend of Gungeon Rock Seeker. She drives the carriage with her 2 oxen. She drives the carriage pulled by her 2 oxen, Barley and Tyson. I should probably make NPC blocks for Barley and Tyson, but I think I can manage without them. We'll just make those 2 lazy oxen. Or 2 like they don't talk much. They just grumble. Longtime friend of Gundren. She drives the carriage. Anything else? Where's she from? She's a farmer, so let's put her lives in Phandalin. So If Stephanie survives the goblin encounter, she can be a regular NPC in Phandalin. That works. I think this is enough information. We got it. All right, let's do Sildar next. Sildar, tell me about you. I believe Sildar has a description around here somewhere. Sildar is a kind-hearted human man of nearly 50 who holds a place of honor in the famous Griffin cavalry of Waterdeep. So I'm going to use Griffin imagery with Sildar. Kind-hearted human man, 50 years old, holds a place of honor in the famous Griffin cavalry of Waterdeep. Let's see. Use Griffin imagery for armor and clothing. So his plate armor might have a griffin emblazoned on it. His sword hilt might have a griffin on it. Kind-hearted human man. I'm going to add a little more to all right, what else we got? I'm not going to mess with the Yarno. He's a member of the Lord's Alliance. I'm not going to bother with Lord's Alliance stuff. Okay. I'm also going to add that he is pragmatic. Pragmatic to a fault. Yeah. I got this. Oh, no, that's enough. Gundren. Tell me about Gundren. I believe Gundren's just like an adventurer. He likes to go out and do. He's an explorer and an adventurer. So here he is. Do I have like some information on Gundren? Dwarf plays a prominent role 1 through 4. Yeah, we don't really have a. All right, so yeah, I gotta just create a. Yeah, so for Gundren, let's do Explorer. What's the word? Like, not reckless. Ambitious. Like somebody who who's not cautious. Word meaning not cautious. Can't think. I guess incautious. Rash, hot-headed, headstrong. Careless. Yeah, careless. Careless. Ambitious. Adventure. Oh, I don't need to capitalize all these. Careless. Ambitious. Adventurer. Loves to travel. This is kind of boring. I need something more interesting about him. So what I'm getting at with the careless is that he just likes to charge in head first without concern of the consequences. He's a first penguin kind of person. Ambitious, adventurer. I don't need a lot because he's not going to come up. Friendly. Careless, ambitious, adventurer, friendly. Yep. That's good. That'll be enough. All right. I believe I am done with scene 1. I am ready to run this. Where's a ring of animal influence? Uses it to talk to Barley and Tyson. That's Stephanie. You can come up with a last name for Stephanie. Last name for Stephanie. Let me look at some of the Phandalin NPCs. Try to match their vibe, or make her related to somebody. Alderleaf, Barthen. I can make her related to Barthen. Edermath, Gariel, Greywind, Stonehill. Could be like Stonehill's daughter. That could work. Or Wester's daughter. Let me see here. The proprietor is Elmina Barthen, a young human woman with a kindly manner. She employs a couple of clerks. They changed Barthen. Hold on a second. That doesn't sound right. Did they change Barthen? Let me see here. Elmar. They did. The proprietor is Elmar Barthen, a lean and balding human male shopkeeper of 50 years. Now it's Elmina. Interesting. I think I'm going to keep Elmar and then make Stephanie Elmina. I guess I could do Elmina. young human woman. Like I have all the artwork for Elmar, but I could change it. Yeah, we'll go with what the book has. Well, I forgot all about Stephanie over here. So Stephanie Barthen. And we can make her the, you know, I kind of want to make her. Yeah, we'll make her Elmina's daughter. We'll have like Elmina be the wife of Elmar. Yeah, we'll go with that. Stephanie, I sure did jump through a lot of hoops to land on this last name, didn't I? Stephanie Barthen. Lives in Finland, daughter of Elmina and Elmar Barthen. There we go. I want a little more on Gundren, but we can come back to it. Yeah, I'll let that stew for a bit. We have a portrait. I can make a token. Make a token later. Just have her last name be Stephanie as well. Stephanie Stephenson. Now I'm invested with Stephanie, but she will die instantly in the ambush. I am also invested, but I mean that's the way it goes. I am going to give the party an opportunity to save Stephanie. What I'm going to do is after, I guess I can describe this next. All right, let's get to the next part. I'm going to walk through this line by line. So, after the party rolls a perception check to spot the wire, they have the chance to disable it. It is unlikely that the party can disable this wire, but it's possible. They just have to succeed. They're going to have to, they'll have to pass the perception check, which, what did I set that at? Of course, I lost it. Where did I put the DC? Or did I even set a DC? I feel like I did. I definitely set a DC, didn't I? Did I put it here? Or did I delete it? Where did I put it? Anyway, there's going to be a perception check. Or survival. Anyway, I got to move forward. So we're going to set the DC for perception DC 15, survival DC 10. I'm making the survival easier because the goblins are really good at hiding the wire, but they're not good at making it look natural. So I'm going to put I need to think about what to do if the party doesn't trigger or if the wire doesn't get tripped. But what's going to happen is the carriage is going to, here's the wire. Here's where the wire is. Once this blows, the fight starts. So Frack, one of our goblins, or demolition expert here, Frack, set up smoke powder trap on the road with a tripwire to detonate. The fight starts with an explosion, DC 15 to notice the wire, or survival 10 to notice that the bushes have been messed with. Everything seems to move in slow motion as an explosion erupts from either side of the vehicle, a tidal wave of heat and force fling away anything and anybody unfortunate enough to be nearby. When the haze of fire and smoke dwindles, all that remains of the carriage is a charred, blackened shell. Immediately, I'm going to transition to Frick and Frack arguing. I'm going to introduce Frick and Frack as they're just going to bicker right away. So the cart is going to trigger the tripwire. The smoke barrel or smoke powder barrels are going to explode. The cart's going to be destroyed. The oxen are going to be wounded and need healing. And Stephanie and both oxen, Tyson and Bailey, Tyson, Bailey, and Stephanie are all going to be wounded and need healing soon. The party will have the opportunity to save them, but they're going to have to they're going to have to get to them. I guess I need to decide right now. You know what? I might actually roll it out. I'm going to give Stephanie a stat block with some hit points, and I'm going to give our oxen. Do I have an oxen stat block? Or I guess it would just be an ox. Yeah, an ox. They have 15 hit points. They could survive. Oh, okay. So the explosion. I need to make a note of this. Notice tripwire. Let's see. We're going to do a DC. We're going to do a dexterity. Dexter. I feel like I'm spelling this wrong. Dexterity. Did I just forget how to spell dexterity, apparently? Dexterity. Okay, I spelled it right. It just looked weird. It looked weird on the dexterity save DC. I want it to be high, but not too high. Maybe like 15. 15 is going to be tough. Oh, I'm going to do 15. 15 is going to be tough. Maybe 10, 12, 13. Let's make it 13. Right there in the middle. So DC 13, dex save, or take 44. 2d6. Save for half. So everybody in the carriage and the oxen are gonna make a dex save or take 2d6. Save for half. That shouldn't kill the party. Hold on. That has the potential, depending on how high I roll. I don't want to wipe the party right away. A first level character would have, say, with a con of +1 or 2. They have like 8 hit points, right? They get max. Wizards have a D6. It could. I don't want to roll so high that I just wipe the party. 6 plus your con mod. It could kill a wizard. Maybe I should do 2d4. The carriage protects them from some damage. Because 2d6 is going to hurt. Let's do 2d4. Yeah, I'm okay with that. 2d4, save for half. So that's going to soften them up quite a bit. They're going to take a lot of damage from this, and they're going to be fighting. So they're going to take, so Stephanie drives over the wire, boom. Everybody takes 2d4, save for half. And then the goblins immediately go and investigate. They're not going to attack right away. The goblins are going to assume that everyone's dead, that the bomb just killed all of them. And then the party, I'm going to leave it up to the party to decide what to do from there. So boom, carriage. Stephanie and the oxen will take the damage. I'll have stat blocks from them. I'll probably use the commoner. So Stephanie might drop, but I am going to give the party the opportunity. The oxen should be fine. I'm just going to weaken them. I'm just going to put them on the ground. 4 hit points. Stephanie might drop. She's going to need healing. Should I make her a commoner? Yeah, I'll make her a commoner. Stephanie might drop. Tyson and Bison and Tarley. Tyson and Barley should be fine. I think I'll stabilize her. Yeah. She'll stabilize. And then after the fight, the party can heal her. I really want her to be alive for this. Like, I want her to be up and running because I want the goblins to chase her. I mean, she could survive. I guess there's a chance she could survive. All right, we'll leave it at that. 2d4 save for half. I'll roll a save. If she passes, whatever. If she fails, whatever. She might end up dropping. I'll stabilize her. Party can get her up after. Immediately after the explosion, Stephanie and the oxen are down. Party's going to take some damage. Hopefully nobody drops. I don't think they will, but if they do, might need some healing. Another party member might have to get them up. Hopefully it's not a TPK from the explosion alone. I need a plan for that if it is. I need to come up with something. Thank you, Stephanie. You're beautiful. Okay, so Stephanie's down, oxen are down, and then I'm just going to kind of scatter the party. So I'm going to say that there's a bunch of smoke and debris and that the party is on the ground. Everybody's prone and they take damage, and they're going to have an opportunity to respond. Before we roll initiative, they're going to have an opportunity to respond, and they can decide whether they want to RP with the goblins, which unlikely, but I always like giving them the opportunity to RP. They can sneak away. They can try to crawl away in the smoke, and there's going to be a lot of smoke and debris, so they might be able to crawl away if they want to try that. Crawl into a bush over here or, over here somewhere. Just kind of crawl away and hide. Heal up a bit. Frick and Frack are going to start arguing immediately. They're going to move up. Frack is going to comment on how the explosion worked, and Frick is going to immediately respond with, yeah, but you destroyed a bunch of stuff and there's no valuable. You destroyed all the valuables, and they're just going to start fighting. Dirt is going to show up. Here's an idea. Dirt is going to command Frick and Frack to stop bickering, and he's going to tell Piss to kill Stephanie. And because Piss is nervous and shy, he is going to be reluctant to do it. He's going to nervously move up. So the party's going to have a chance to respond to this. And if the party, so Dirt's going to give the command, Piss, kill the carriage driver. I don't want them to get away. Dirt's going to say something along those lines. I need to be writing this down. Stephanie. All right. So yeah, they just take damage. Dirt, Frick, and Frack are going to immediately start arguing about the explosion, whether it's successful or not. If the party doesn't trigger the wire, give her the bandit stat block, but give her a dagger and a crossbow. That could work. Bandit stat block. I have a little bit more health with that. I think they have 12 hit points. 11. Okay. Yeah, bandit could work. Is there a farmer? Whatever. Yeah, bandit's fine. Dirt is going to command. Let me get back to Frick and Frack are going to start arguing about the explosion. If the explosion is successful and the carriage gets destroyed, Frick is going to complain to Frack about how it did too much damage and it broke valuables. If the explosion is unsuccessful, Frick is going to complain to Frack about how it was unsuccessful. How he told him beforehand that this was going to be a failure. It was a waste of time setting up these barrels and this tripwire. It was too obvious. They're just going to bicker. Dirt is going to command Frick and Frack to stop bickering and start looting. He is then going to command Piss to kill the driver so she doesn't get away. Piss is going to be reluctant to do so and hesitate, giving the party a chance to interrupt. Without party intervention, Piss will... Does he kill her? Piss will attack. So, if the party doesn't intervene and Stephanie is alive, she's going to try and run away, and Piss is going to shoot at her with a bow. If Stephanie is on the ground, Dirt's going to command Piss to walk up to her and stab her to make sure she's dead. The party has to intervene in order to prevent Stephanie from dying. They don't have to do much. They just have to start combat, basically, to prevent her from dying. Mid-combat, Frick and Frack are going to start arguing again. What I think is going to happen is Frack is going to run up to a party member and threaten them. I'm going to write some kind of threat. And then Frick is going to tell Frack how stupid his threat was. And then they're going to go back and forth. And when that happens, they're going to spend their turn throwing rocks at each other instead of attacking the party. Piss is probably going to shoot his bow, is going to stay as far away from melee combat as possible, shooting his bow. And I might have him shooting with advantage or disadvantage. It'll be just regular shots, but he clearly looks nervous when he fires. And then Dirt is going to engage the party wherever they are with his scimitar, while also commanding Frick and Frack to stop bickering. If at any point, so here's some important information that I need to write down. If the party kills Dirt, actually, let's see. Let me write this. Without Dirt, Frick and Frack will fight each other and ignore the party. If Dirt dies or is for any reason, if Frick and Frack are at any point allowed to continue to argue without Dirt stopping them. So Dirt is basically the one that's going to stop Frick and Frack from arguing whenever they start up. If at any point he's unable to do so, Frick and Frack are going to argue to the point where they start fighting each other and they ignore the party. If Piss also, without Dirt, Piss hides in the bushes until combat is over. At which point he surrenders. There you go. Without Frack, Frick focuses on combat. Without Frick focuses on melee combat with the party. Without Frack focuses on ranged combat with the party. Grenades. I'm gonna give Frack some grenades. He's gonna toss grenades at the party. That's gonna be his combat technique. All my homies love the piss. There we go. Frick wields a dagger that causes bleed. Frack's got grenades. Dirt's got his potions of healing. One more thing. I can't remember where I put this, but I'm gonna put it here. If dirt is damaged but not dropped, he will drink a potion of healing and continue combat. So dirt carries all of the potions. Oh. I changed my mind. If dirt drops, Piss will run over and use a healer's kit. Forgot about the healer's kit. If unable, Piss will hide in the bushes until combat is over, at which point he surrenders. All right, looks good. So Piss carries a healing kit. The reason he's carrying this is because a healer's kit is going to come up later in the adventure. It's going to be necessary later, so I want the party to have one. If dirt gets dropped, Piss will try to get him up with a healer, or try to go heal him with a healer's kit or stabilize him. If the party's like surrounding dirt, he's not gonna risk his own life to do it, but he will make an attempt. So for example, if the party kills dirt and then immediately goes over and starts fighting frickin' Frack, Piss will come over and start trying to stabilize him. But if there's a bunch of party members around, Piss is gonna be like, nah, I'm good, and just hide. I like that. I already did the loot, right? I've got descriptions, I've got loot. All I need are skill checks. A couple more skill checks for the ambush. What do you guys think? Am I missing anything? Does that sound good? Sound like a good encounter? Dagger that causes bleed. I'm gonna look up exactly what that does. I'm gonna try and maybe create it in D&D Beyond. Get the specifics of this. What I'm thinking is whenever the dagger hits a creature, it'll cause gaping wound, which lasts 2 turns and can stack, and it does a D4 damage at the start of their turn. That's what I want it to do. Lockbox contains an amulet of drunkard if they can get it open. Crates of food and alcohol, potions and scrolls. I should probably decide. All right, let's decide on some potions and scrolls. I think that all of the potions and scrolls should be loot that they found from carriages. So I need potions. I need spells that you would find on a carriage that's transporting goods. Spells you would find on a carriage that is transporting goods. Let's see. Longstrider. I should write this down. Longstrider. Maybe Expeditious Retreat. Let's see. Longstrider. Speed increased by 10 until the spell ends. It lasts an hour. It's great. I want to use one of those potions from Baldur's Gate. Potion. I think it's called a potion of speed. That gives you like haste for 2 turns. What's good? Hey, soul kicker. What's up? Rope trick. That's an interesting one. I like that. Rope trick. Good call. I'll do rope trick. Maybe some poisons. I should be more specific. I'm just going to write poisons. I'll look up some poisons. Unseen Servant could be good. That's something I would expect to see. Servant. That's something I would expect to see on a carriage, you know, moving goods around. Floating disc. Also for moving goods around. Mending. For repairing wagon wheels. Yep, looks good. How about 1 second level spell? Oh, rope trick. Okay, rope trick is a second level spell. Let's do it. Mending and rope trick. I like it. Boom. So we've got a scroll of Longstrider, rope trick. Already wrote rope trick. What am I doing? Longstrider, rope trick, okay, these are not. Let me separate the scrolls. Potion, whatever. Poisons. Longstrider, Potion of Speed, Rope Trick, Unseen Servant, Floating Disc, Mending. These are all scrolls. I have one wizard. I will allow the wizard to put this scroll of Mending in his spell book so that he basically learns a new cantrip. I love that. I think that's really cool. Unfortunately, a scroll of Mending's kind of meh. Whatever, they'll sell it. We can sell it. Potion of Speed is the potion from. I would like one more potion. Let's do a potion of healing. Oil of Sharpness, which is that stuff. I think that's. There's an oil in Baldur's Gate that I want to use, and I think it's called Oil of Sharpness. For 1 hour, the coded item is magical, has a +3 bonus to attack and damage. I'm going to nerf it. I'm going to make it last until the next short rest, and I'm going to give it maybe +1. Actually, I mean, slashing or piercing weapon takes 1 minute. For 1 hour, the coded item is magical and has a +3 bonus. Is +3 too good? They might need it. I mean, this is going to be a really hard dungeon, so I'm okay. Yeah, let's give them an Oil of Sharpness. Plant Growth and Tangle, those are good ones. Sam, did you hear about the aliens? What about them? This is good. Potion of Speed. So the Potion of Speed in D&D is not the same as the Potion of Speed in Baldur's Gate. It doesn't matter. Be all right. So that's it for that loot. Did we just ignore all? Goodness. Longstrider, Potion of Speed. Oh, poison. Okay, I need a poison. Let's see. Poison weird. Potion of poison. Poison spray. I want something to coat a weapon with. Maybe drought poison. Oh, basic poison. That'll work. You can use this poison. You can use the poison in this vial to coat one slashing or piercing weapon up to 30 pieces. Applying the poison takes an action. Creature hit by the poison weapon must succeed on a DC 10 or take D4. Yeah, it's a basic poison. Whoops. Basic poison. Some fat loot. All right. So if it looks like the party's going to wipe out all the goblins, I'm going to have Frick and Frack argue and mention the hideout. So maybe Frick will say something like, depending on what Frack says, Frick will start arguing and mention like, oh, that's never going to happen. That Clark will never allow that in his hideout, or how are you going to get the hideout on board with this? Like, just casually mention the hideout, kind of hint that it exists. If any one of these are taken prisoner, they will escort the party to the hideout and tell them any information they need about it, or any information they ask. I may do a skill check for that, maybe an intimidation, depending on who they ask. Maybe persuasion for dirt, intimidation for piss. Apparently it's got something to do with a known hoaxer. So who knows if the body's real? Did you hear about the aliens? Tell me about the aliens. Something about alien bodies. You're going to have a hard time convincing me it's real. If it was real, there wouldn't really be an argument about what. If aliens were real and landed on Earth, there wouldn't be an argument about whether or not it was real. There would be like worldwide panic, you know. It would be a discussion. It'd be news. Anyway, I want some more skill checks. Like right now we've got 3. We've got the perception to notice, the animal handling to stop the ox. We've got the sleight of hand to crack open the chest. What else? We do have some social skill checks. Persuasion, deception. Medicine to stay, maybe a medicine. They did a live stream or something showing quartz or something, the bodies. It's all very confusing. Yeah, we'll see, I guess. Medicine. Could use medicine on the oxen to get them back on their feet. How about a DC 10 medicine to get the oxen, like remove some shrapnel from the oxen, which will allow them to get up and move around. I like that. Am I spending too much time on this first scene? Maybe. Trying to figure out how to format this. Let's do medicine, a simple medicine DC 10. Remove shrapnel from Barley and Tyson, allowing them to carry the carts. Okay, how's this? The carriage that the party rode on exploded, but they find a wrecked carriage that's in working condition. And if they succeed on a DC 10 medicine check to remove the shrapnel from Barley and Tyson, they will pull the new cart. They will pull this. They will be able to pull this carriage, allowing the party to have access to a carriage, so they can move goods around. They can move. They can bring the goods to Phandalin. They can succeed on their mission and get a reward later. So that'll be a medicine. I think we're good. A survival check to follow survival. We'll call that a DC 10. Follow goblin tracks to Cragmaw hideout. It's a good one. Any other useful skill checks that I can put here that I can wedge into my... I don't want to delete it, but I also don't want it taking up all this room. Yo. How about an investigation? Some knowledges would be great. Arcana, nature, religion, history. What could they knowledge about? History of smoke for smoke powder. It's a bit obscure knowledge, so we'll do DC 15. Knowledge about smoke powder. I need a writer description for this. Arcana, DC 15. Identify the ring of animal influence. Notice or identify. I'm going to do identify. Recognize. Religion doesn't really have a place here. I could give them information on Maglubiet. DC 15. Information on Maglubiet. I don't know how to spell it. I can't spell it without looking at it. Maglubiet. History, Arcana, religion, and what's my last one? I can't believe I forgot the last one. Nature. What can we nature about? I like the idea of doing a nature check to identify berries that can be eaten, giving the party food supplies. It sounds like a 10. Find edible berries. Adding long rest supply. Maglubiet's my favorite word to pronounce in D&D. There we go. Lots of skill checks. And I need to figure out what triggers these. Like if a party member says, I'm going to search the area, I can do nature. What do I know about goblins? I can do history. If the party asks, what do I know about goblins? I can do like history, DC 10, knowledge about Cragmaw goblins. Trying to figure out what to do with this ring of animal influence because identify is a spell. I kind of want it to just be I mean, it could also be a skill check. Arcana to yeah, that's fine. I like yeah, I'm fine with that. If they succeed on this DC 10, they remove the shrapnel. Barley and Tyson survive. All right, so what if they fail? Or what if they don't do this medicine check? Or what if they fail? I'll say Barley and Tyson die, which means the party needs to find some other way to get the supplies to Phandalin. Because with a cart, also they're not going to be able to get all the supplies because some of it got blown up. But with a cart, the party could load up the loot from the Goblin Cave. So they need this cart in order to carry the loot from the Goblin Cave. Without the cart, they'll be unable to complete the Lion Shield Coster quest. Yeah. So here's how I'm going to do this. There are supplies. First off, we'll say that there are some supplies that survive the blast. And second of all, we're going to say that there are supplies within Cragmaw hideout. Where is it? It's in area 8. Yeah. The captured stores are bulky and the characters will need a wagon to transport them. If they return the supplies, they earn a reward of 50 gold. So they can get, so I'm going to change this. They're just going to get some gold for bringing this back to Phandalin. And they're also going to get some gold for bringing the supplies to Phandalin. Let me find that quest. So they have 2 quests involving getting that cart to Phandalin. Where is it? Character creation, adventure hook. You will be paid 10 gold each by the owner of Barthen's provisions. I'm going to change that. I'm going to make that higher. And I'm also going to change the other one. So we have two side quests that require a cart. And in order to get those oxen, it's either going to take healing. Oh, a healing spell. Medicine DC 10 to remove the shrapnel and allow Barley and Tyson to heal, which will allow them to carry the cart, or some healing magic if they burn a healing word or a potion or something. It'll take 2 potions because there's 2 oxen. DC 17 legend and lore. You discovered Mr. Rex YouTube channel. What's he doing lately? He hadn't been uploading a lot lately. At least as far as I know. Kind of slowed down on the content, which I guess a lot of D&D YouTubers did, myself included. What to do here? Find edible berries. Information. Wrecked carriage. Can I finally move on from this area? It's hard not to run out of... It's hard to not run out of content. But there's so much. There's like hundreds of monsters. Like content, there's plenty of. It's like sitting down, writing, like the effort required to sit down and write and record and all that stuff. That's the hard part. As far as content, there's plenty of monsters to talk about. Plenty. Hundreds. So much lore. Okay. I kind of want to take a break from this, but I really wanted to be done with it. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I need to do off stream. I also need some interactables. Jeez Louise. I need so much stuff. Here's what I need off stream. I need interactables. When I say interactables, I mean things that are on the map for them to interact with. Which I kind of covered with the skill checks. I mean, we've got this. So the wreck carriage would be an example of interactables, and the berry bush. What other interactables can I put here? Wrecked carriage, berry bush. Goblin tracks. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I think we're good. I have filled this section up enough. On to... So I just need to do the same thing with each area. A lot of these are good. I just need to write descriptions. But for the most part, this is done. I would consider this over prepared, to be honest. Every single NPC has their own unique artwork and name. A little excessive. Loot, skill checks. Man, I absolutely love Queen, Gregor, Sterling, and Troy. Love them. I went over everything. Making a video out of this is going to be so difficult. I'm going to have to like bounce around through hours of stream, bouncing around, trying to make sense of it all. I need to keep going, but okay. We've got some goblins that need small descriptions. 3 here, 5 or 6 here, 5, 6, 7 there. 3 here, 3 Valkyries over here, and then we've got these 4 here. I already have descriptions over these 3 in this one. I need to fill this out with loot, interactables, and I need to write some descriptions for when the party approaches. Won't take long. I really didn't want to do that off stream. Oh man, YouTube failed to inform me of a Steely stream. Huge fail. I'm just prepping for a session. Working on a campaign guide. All right, I'll give brief descriptions. I'll give brief descriptions on stream. That way I have it logged, and then I'll just do more detail off stream. That way I can use it to make a video. So the goblins in area 3, Muzzle is going to be telling a story. Gribbo and Olak are going to listen. Do they attack the party when they approach? Maybe they'll ignore the party. Undecided about how they'll approach the party. They'll probably attack the party as soon as they see him, depending on how the party approaches. But that's going to be the case for all of them. Zerga is a goblin, what I have called Goblin Valkyrie. Elite goblin warrior women, these three: Aggie, Mezka, and Zerga. Zerga is the leader of the Goblin Valkyries. If she sees the party, she's going to alert them, assemble the troops. She has 2 wolves, Claw and Slice. These things are just vicious, evil monsters that the goblins have tortured and broken in. There is no reasoning with them outside of magic. They can use speak with animals to talk to them, but all they're going to get is, I'm going to eat you. Same thing with Ripper. Ripper is probably the most evil. In my head, Ripper is the most evil creature in this entire cave. Ripper is ready to kill indiscriminately. Only thing stopping him from killing the goblins or Clarg is because he knows that he needs them. Clarg is the king. He just kind of sits there, has that typical king vibe. He will challenge the party if they arrive here. I think he'll challenge them to like he'll draw his weapon. He'll do honorable combat. Maybe. He's a bugbear, not a hobgoblin. He is hostile. He may recruit the party to quell this uprising. I haven't decided if he knows about Ymic's plan to overthrow him. If the party decides to go to the right first, I will say that he does. If the party decides to go to the left first, he will not know about Ymic's. That way, whichever direction the party decides to go to first, whether it be Area 6 or Area 8, that's going to be the roleplay encounter, which leads to the combat on the other side. So, for example, if the party goes left, they're going to encounter Ymmic. Ymmic's going to convince them to go kill Area 8. If the party goes right and they reach Area 8, Clarg is going to convince them to go kill the goblins in 6. So whichever way they decide to go, that's going to be the roleplay encounter that leads to the combat on the other side, presumably. They may just combat both. Who knows? The Valkyries, how will the Valkyries respond? That's the last question I need to answer. Zerga, Aggie, and Mezka, how do they feel about this? I think they'll attack right away. Maybe they'll do a halt who goes there. I think Zerga will alert Aggie and Mezka as the party approaches, and then she will confront the party and question them. And we're good. I also need to fill in like loot and interactables, but I think for the most part, for as far as the video goes, it's good enough. Thank you all for tuning in. Tomorrow's live stream is going to be an actual D&D game. I'm going to run this session, and you'll be able to see what changes I made to the overall, what interactables I added. Because tomorrow I'm going to add the interactables and it's just going to be a couple of skill checks. I may do like an acrobatics over here at the bridge. I'm going to add some loot. I definitely need to add some loot in this. This area is important because this is like the boss. I definitely need to add some loot here. Fill out this with gold and treasure and stuff and a magic item or two. Same thing over here, just not as much. I need an image for the stone. Yeah. Just filling this out. But thank you all for hanging out. I'm out of here. You folks have a good night. See you all tomorrow. Maybe, hopefully. See you when I see you. Peace.